Hey, how's everyone doing? Friends, family. So Indrima played last night and it went really well. Really well. My only complaint was that Nick at the end turned his guitar way up too loud. But the show went really well. We played at the Slowdown. Slowdown is one of the premier places to play in Omaha, club-wise, and it's owned by Saddle Creek Records. Yes, it's the house that Bright Eyes built, and that's a well-known fact, you know. The Slowdown Club is awesome because it was designed by working musicians, and so you can split it in half. You know, full club with the big stage, 500 plus people. You can close it off, half it up in about 250, and you call it Slowdown Junior. And that's the part we played last night. We played the big room and almost sold it out. But last night we did really well. We filled Slowdown Junior, well over 100 people. I'll find out today how many people, money, etc. We played with some great local bands. The premise of the show is that a local band that used to be called Bear Country have morphed into a band called Gus and Call. I didn't pick up their CD last night. They didn't have it on vinyl. I would have bought the vinyl. They're doing that slowcore thing, kind of like low, but also it's got that slightly country thing. And I've just got to say it again. When I'm here by myself, stuff that reminds me of our roots, you know, like country and a little too much American folk and blues, and it just really kind of turns me off. But live is different, and I was thinking about this in bed. It's like Gus and Call played last night, and another band called Honeybee and Her played, primarily a female band that I know a lot of you would love. I didn't buy their CD either. Really personal, really simple, and yet they're giving it all. You know what I'm saying? They're doing exactly what I've been accused of not doing, although I am doing it. Yes, I am always thinking about things way too much. Honeybee and Her were really good and personal. And Michelle, who's the leader of the band, was really upfront in bringing up some issues regarding same-sex marriage, and asked for some support on that locally regarding some legislation that is about to go before the chopping block. So I thought that was cool. But before I get to Indrima, I want to talk about Gus and Call. It's their show, and they've got a month-long residency, which is something new for Slowdown. And what it is once a week they're playing a show with other local bands, and this is all to promote and try to sell their brand new CD, the debut Gus and Call CD. I took some footage of them last night, and it's over-modulated because of the mic, but I may add it here at the end. Live, I really enjoyed it. I doubt that I would play it at home because of what I explained earlier. They're really good. And I just wanted to say, again, if I didn't get it out earlier, that most music, if the artist really has something to offer, I'll catch it live, even if it's not a style that I care for. I really enjoy things like the blues and stuff like that. I can enjoy it live because you can't miss if it's happening, it's happening. But almost any music. Like for example, some of the newer artists, like The Tallest Man on Earth, is that his name? If I saw him live, I'd probably fall in love with him. I'd listen to the music, and I just, no, I'm not going to have you singing with that funny voice at me, mainly because I'm not interested in his words, which apparently is really important, I played last year with a young man, I think his name was Eric Ayata, and he was great live. He had kind of a yelping, yipping kind of, frankly, obnoxious voice. But because you're in his presence and you can see and feel what's going on with him, it's like, oh, I get this. So I bought his record. I can't play it. I saw him, and I saw him do the song on the record. But it's like, it's like, ooh, this hurts my ears, you know. So thought I'd explain that a little bit about my listening habits. So I don't have anything new to show. I did want to give a review of the show. I don't have a recording of it. A couple cool things happened though. Let's see if we can get the next show recorded, because it might be worth it. Last night it was pretty smooth, you know. Actually, the rehearsal worked out. And one of the cool things that happened was two people came up to me after our set and introduced themselves and loved the show, but also told me how they'd seen me here on YouTube on the doing my VC thing, and commented on seeing my wall of vinyl. You know, I got the biggest kick out of that. That was unexpected. I don't know who, if anyone, locally watches my channel. I mean, I'm not sure. So that was great. Matter of fact, one of the people was the drummer from Honeybee and Her, who I had never met before, Cody. I watch your channel, man. That wall of vinyl, you know, it's great. So what I'm listening to right now is, I just love this vinyl community. And one of my favorite people, I mean, I will go ahead and shout him out, is Stefan73 from Holland. We have a lot of similar tastes, and because of my long interest in the Scandinavian countries, I'm not exactly sure why. It's my same interest in Japanese culture. I've tried to buy the music from those countries, and he showed this album in one of his last videos, Kiem. I said, wow, I got that. And I'm playing it now. I love this album. And I love this label, Plexus. Great label. I also noticed that you had picked up Poste Restante by Mini Pops. And that is not a definitive album for them. As you see, it's for a particular project, play or something. I love that album, but the album, if you want to really hear that, what they really do, and I believe you will be knocked out, is get Mini Pops Sparks in a Darkened Room. Can I grab it right quick? Yeah, there it is. Man, I love Sparks in a Dark Room on Factory Records, Factory Benelux. I would try, matter of fact, I tried to set up a different setup for doing the video. I tried to do it so that I could have a mic and that I could play music with good fidelity but still be mic'd, and the configuration I tried didn't work. I'll try it again sometime, but this is dope, Stefan, and anybody else actually. Mini Pops, Sparks in a Dark Room, Dark Room. And you say they're back together playing live? Wow. That's a band I'd love to see, Mini Pops. Big props to Mini Pops. Let's say that again. Big props to Mini Pops. This is excellent. Excellent, excellent post-punk, springing off of Joy Division, but not sounding like Joy Division, just that kind of monotone kind of voice, and the beat, and the being really important, and those big gated reverby drums that I personally love from the 80s. I just had to enthuse about this for a second, even though I'm still slightly wiped out from the night before. I still had to get up and greet the day. So I don't have any new records. Someone commented on my Opeth that they really enjoyed that I grabbed. I've been told that before, so I thought I would do it again. I'm just going to grab some records. I'm going to show you everything I grab. And, you know, that's pretty naked because, in my opinion, because our record collections and what we surround ourselves with is who we are. And much as I reveal a lot about myself, we never reveal everything. I'm just going to grab the row below the one that I grabbed yesterday from that and show everything I grabbed. And if we see something embarrassing, well, this will be interesting, won't it? So I'm grabbing this much of a stack, okay? There's Bill Nelson. I'm going to start at the back end. Okay, Milton Nascimento on Anima. Well, people, if you don't know about Milton Nascimento, he's got a voice that makes butter melt. This man is a living legend of Brazilian music, I believe. I know he is a living legend for me. And this album of his, I've got a few. He's got a bunch, and I only have a few. But of the ones I have, this one is just gorgeous. I can't speak of any particular song right off the top of my head, but Anima, Milton Nascimento. This brother is one excellent musician. His voice is amazing. Next record in the stack, I'm just going to pull it up because I'm seeing the backs of them. Graham Nash, Song for Beginners. Graham Nash, all the way back to the Hollies. What a voice. What a songwriter. What an example of a human being who has always taken the risk of looking like a meathead, or no, like a space cadet or a lefty, by espousing his true humanist values. He's never shied away from that. Much respect to Graham Nash for that. And on top of that, this is a fantastic album. Now, this is an example of one of those kind of albums from our roots albums that I can listen to. Love this album. Next, what's next? Oh, my boys. National Health. Now, see, this is really where I reside at. Fantastic musicianship, ideas, unconcerned with representing some sort of traditional background or roots. You know, that has its place, but I, for one, am just really tired of hearing roots music. I want to hear something different. Show me your ideas. National Health, perfect example of what I look for in music. Very original. Of Cues and Cures, even better. An even better National Health album. What's the second one on here? The Collapso. The Collapso. The Collapso. If you can find that on YouTube and listen to it by National Health. Fantastic musician. Fantastic. This music stimulates my intellect and my imagination. A lot of roots music doesn't. You know, I'm just going on and about this. I know I am, but I'm trying to make a point. I really think I am trying to educate. I think some people need to know this, that it's okay to step out of the box. It's okay to try new things. Matter of fact, you might benefit greatly by stepping away from traditions and things that you really recognize, you know, might really do some good for your soul. Let's keep going. National Health, DSL Coda. I think this was issued posthumously after Alan Gowan died of cancer, I believe. Not quite as strong, but still excellent. Actually, yeah, this is excellent. So let's put this into perspective now. This, in my opinion, is an absolute classic progressive rock, modern rock music album. Absolute classic. For someone that's interested in progressive, forward-thinking music, this is an essential album. This is fantastic. Not quite as good as that one, but freaking amazing. Okay, what's next? Mark Nassif, Surah. Mark Nassif is a percussionist. Can't remember who all he's played with. I think he had a band called Dark. Haven't played this in a while, but this is, again, the type of thing I really like. It's just outside of the traditional thing. There's a lot of what you may call experimentation or working with atmospheres with percussion on here. Great album. I'm glad I did this, actually. Now, here's one of the records I bought for the cover. No. I bought it because of the age, the time. And I'm going to keep this baby. It's not one that I like musically, but this one is a keeper. Navasoda, Rootin'. This is an absolute keeper because of its history. Now, I'm going to listen to it some more because this is an album that I bought this year. And when I looked it up and looked at it, Steely Dan, before they were Steely Dan, are on this album. Most of the band Steely Dan are on here. But it has a real country thing, which just puts me off right at first. So the thing is, what I need to do is just settle my ass down and listen and wait for it to hear the good song. There's a good song on here. There's probably a couple good songs. And I just need to settle down and stop paying attention to how annoyed I get with hearing country music and certain types of musical idioms over and over again, and just listen to what these brothers are trying to offer, because there's got to be something there. But that cover is so goofy. This is such a goofy, funky cover. I like it. Well, my man Todd. This is a Rhino Records reissue of the first album, Naz. She's Going Down. Great, great album. Once again, now this is my opinion. I think the reason why Todd Rundgren didn't become more popular, because he had all the elements, especially cute, young-looking, boyish white boy that every girl and male record executive wanted to fuck him in his butt. You know, I'm being a little profane, but I know this stuff. I do. But I think the reason why Todd didn't make it bigger was because he wouldn't let them do that, and also because he's always been well aware of his talent and says so. And I think that rubs people the wrong way. He said it. He knows he's good. He knows he's great. And people don't want to hear that. That's my opinion. I've talked about this with a friend of mine who is a Todd Rundgren freak. Has traveled the entire country. Has gone to his home. When he had the fans to his home, he's seen Todd Rundgren hundreds of times live. And we've had several discussions about why Todd only has maintained about a 50,000 fan base. And I really think that's it, because this music is world class, as you know, and he's written some timeless classics. I Saw the Light, among others. But people don't like it when you're too confident. I really think that was his problem. And also, I think he was not willing to play the game. Pete Townsend of The Who has written about it, how Kit Lambert was after his butt hard. Brian Epstein wanted to fuck John Lennon. You know, if you're letting your kids watch, sorry, you know. I played last night. I didn't sleep too well. So maybe there's a little edge to how I'm presenting, you know what I mean? Maybe I'd be a little more safe or cautious on a regular work day, but I'm tired, and so I'm just letting my shit flow, okay? And so these are things I know about the truth of the music, and about the music industry, about the entertainment industry, and about power in general. The thing that I don't like about power, and it's corrupt, is that, and we're seeing it now in the news, all these people getting busted for sex. It's like, you fucking idiots, you know. You have all this power and you're so stupid, you still will lose it all just for a little piece of ass. Idiots. Fucking idiots. And that, I would truly think, was the issue with Todd Rundgren. If you've ever seen old pictures of Todd Rundgren, you know that when he was young, he had a great butt, okay? Some of you can leave me comments and tell me, Dereck, you're just being silly, but I'm telling you the truth. And Todd wasn't giving no male executives that ass. He was saying, no, you ain't getting none of this. And as a result, they wouldn't play along. Here's Naz 3. This is an original copy. Cutout. I've had it for ages. And this one I don't like nearly as much as the first Naz album. But really happy to have this original in my collection. Youssou N'Dour, the African singer who was brought to prominence through Peter Gabriel. Excellent. Man, this man's voice is something. This is a 12-inch single featuring remixes by Deep Forest. Undecided. It's a great song. I love Youssou N'Dour. I mostly have him on CD. This is a split put out by someone who I kind of vaguely know, Friends and Relatives Records out of Indiana. And it's Necromania on one side. And I believe on the other side, this is so obscure, it's hard to say. I think it's Glenn or Glenda on the other side. This is Noise, and this is also cool. It's, you know, it's one of those homemade deals where what they did was they bought a bunch of albums from the charity shops, and they silk screened this, you know, the cover art onto it. And what did I end up with here? I think it's a Cecilio and Capono album on the inside. Stuff like this is just is just awesome. Yeah, it's something I would never in a million years want to listen to. You know, I'm just looking at it, and this music wasn't meant for me, you know, the original. But this I can get into. It's just some crazy ass noise. You know, I'd have to put it back on. It's good. It's not just crap noise. It's good. Man, when I get to talking, the time just goes, and I'm just going to finish this pile. So this is going to be a long one. I guess I'll go take a nap while this one is uploading. Necros. Tangled Up. Love Necros. Punk, post-punk, whatever you want to call it. Punk metal. This Noise That Kills is one of my favorites off of here. Love this album, Necros. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of a cool way to see what's really in my collection. Negative Land, Points. Man, it's so hard to find their records. This is an original. Bought it when it came out on their label. They had that controversy with U2 when they sampled them and stuff. Man, I'd like to find that. Haven't listened to this in a while, but this is just awesome. Awesome sound manipulation, sound creation. Les Negres Verte. This is a 12-inch single. This is kind of gypsy set. Now, interestingly enough, now I must be some kind of renegade, because I can get with this gypsy shit a lot quicker than some of the more traditional type of folky stuff. There's something kind of edgy, and I'm gonna take this out. This is a beautiful cover. Les Negres Verte. Zobi la Mouche, the fly. Zobi la Mouche. Yeah, I really like this. I have this because I really like this. Excuse me. Good band. Good band. Negres Verte. Ben Neal, Mainspring. An experimental trumpeter, doing some interesting things, kind of in the vein of John Hassel on the Irrational label. This is experimental. He's played with other folks. And this is on clear vinyl. That's why I'm showing it right quick. On the Irrational label out of Germany. This is compelling stuff. They're experimental. Doesn't easily go into any particular classification. I suppose loosely you would maybe say jazz. Let's finish up here. What's next? Ah, here we go. Nectar. Journey to the Center of the Eye. This band's been talked about quite a bit. I love Nectar. This is on the Belaphon label. Love that label. Tab in the Ocean. Love this album by Nectar. U.S. pressing of it. Tab in the Ocean. Excellent. The first album I heard by them, Remember the Future. Once again, beautiful album. Great album. I'll open this one up. This is a gatefold. I forget what the inside is, but I've always liked that cover graphic. Remember the Future. And there they are. I believe these were British cats that went to Germany to make it. Remember the Future. The next one I have is Recycled by Nectar. This is one where it was hard for me to get into. Still not one that I'm very familiar with. I imagine if I play it now, and okay, let's do it. Let's just do it. I want to shout out to Nathan Morales. It's good to see you, brother. Healing. I can see in your face that, you know, you're getting back to your ground. I'm thinking of you because my video's going long, and I watched one of yours recently. It was a marathon, hanging out with you 30-something minutes with your big cool ass. And I love you, Nathan. So I'm going to play Nectar Recycled. Next we have Down to Earth. And again, I bought this one for the collection. I don't like this album. Don't like it. Here we have Through the Ears, a compilation. And I think I have everything on here anyway, but This is a double album, and I was able to get it for, I think, $1. Okay, now let me just say that I'm listening to this now, and it's starting off fine. Keep it up, guys. Usually what blows it for me is when the vocals come in. It's like, you know, just shut up and play. I know I'm an anomalous in that way. I'm down to the last two. Nectar, live in New York. Another double album on the Bellafon label. Great label. Actually, Bellafon was a household label. Is a household label, I think, still in Germany. But a lot of good stuff on Bellafon. Lastly, Bill Nelson's Red Noise. So I was, you know, moving in that direction. All this next is a whole bunch of Bill Nelson. Still love this album by Bill Nelson a lot. A lot. Okay, so I'm listening to Recycled and I'm hearing what it is. This is good. But what we're hearing is it's Nectar has moved into trying to sound like Supertramp, trying to get some radio play, trying to make some ducats, trying to get the money. And at this point in the world, with the economy being as shitty as it is, and the game being blown up to be the farce that it always has been, that the dream has never been available to everyone. It's always been a fixed game. And so the whole idea of back in the 60s and 70s of musicians selling out, it's like, well, we really thought that. But the fact of the matter is that people need to make money to sustain their art, you know, and it's a shame that capitalism or commerce or whatever you want to say, or the marketplace dictates that the main thing you want to do is to round off all the corners and make it as dumb as possible so as many people as possible will buy it. I think it just has destroyed so much art, and that's my biggest complaint, and you'll probably hear it from me time and time again. But I don't blame Nectar, but I can hear where some of the beauty of their original voice musically is gone because they're trying to make a buck so they can keep making records and keep that contract. More power to them and anybody else that has to do that. I don't want to do it. Never wanted to do it, which is why I'm sitting here talking to you like this. But I'll say something that some of you will think is egotistical, but it's not. It's a fact. I am one of these people back here. I am an artist, but I'm not a businessman. I've never been interested in making money. And it's only been over time of growing up slowly that I've realized, well, there's just no way around it. That's what you have to do. But because I have not been able to have myself together enough to play the game and get the rewards in a more consistent level, I'm sitting here doing this more than I'm not sitting here and you're listening to me buying my records. But you have bought my records, and I think some of you are going to buy my records. And so in that sense, I'm feeling a great amount of satisfaction that I have just followed my path. You know, no one's perfect and no one knows. You have to just follow your nose and see what's ahead of you. And so I believe I'm experiencing a bit of the best of both worlds. I get to sit home and play my records and collect them, but I also get to be an artist and experience that side of it too. Not quite on the level that I have always secretly wished for. But I'm still in the game and I'm enjoying it. And thanks if you stuck with me through this entire video, wow. Should give you a gold star.